Welcome to the Joe Show, wherever you may be streaming Radio GBX. My name is Joe, and I'm here with my special local artist, Presley. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing good. So, Presley, tell me about yourself. Where you from?
Um, I'm from Green Bay. I grew up in the area, Ashwaubenon. It's Ashwaubenon High School, and yeah, I've pretty much been here my whole life. So yeah, local.
What brings you to the Green Bay campus and just local?
Yeah. Well, I liked the campus. And I always kind of planned to just like do my school here, and then if I want to decide to go anywhere else, then just go like after. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I like the campus here. I like how it's like surrounded by like the trees and everything, and like all the nature. And the tunnels are very convenient for wintertime as well. So
Oh, yeah, I mean we're like close to the city, but we're almost like our own little village or
yeah,
something over
it's
here
really
too.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, you only went to Green Bay? Have you been to any other schools?
Oh, I went to NWTC my first year. Just to like for like gen eds and stuff. I always knew I wanted to end up here, and I was like, well, I'll get some of those out of the way, and they're cheaper there too. So just was more affordable. I mean, it's pretty affordable here too compared to like some other places, but still, yeah.
Yeah. What are you studying here?
I'm studying music production. That's my major, and then I'm minoring it in communications. So,
Nice. So, what kind of instruments do you play?
oh, I play. Main instrument is guitar. But I also know a little bass. I know some piano. I've gotten into a little ukulele. Because it's very similar to guitar. If it's like a stringed instrument, then I can kind of figure it out at least. Except for like if it's like violin or something, that would take a little more time. But yeah, I used to play trumpet for like 1 year, but I would not consider myself. I've forgotten like everything about that. That was in middle school. So
Oh wow. So guitar is your main. How long have you been playing that?
oh I've been playing since the summer before 8th grade. So a long time, probably like 8 or 9 years now. That's crazy. I didn't even. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Like, what inspires you to play guitar just to make the music that you make?
Um. Well, to play guitar, I guess. I don't even. I think it was the scene in Back to the Future at the
Oh
end
yeah,
there. um, I watched that movie a lot growing up. So and then yeah, I just started getting more into music and stuff after that.
so like guitar is like your favorite instrument, right?
Yeah, one of them. It's hard to pick a favorite.
Okay.
Just because I like the way that many of them sound. I'm the most comfortable on guitar because it's my main. So I've been playing with it for a while. And here at school, I'm like in the jazz band and stuff, and I played jazz or guitar and jazz band. So I'm getting a lot of experience there too as well. So yeah.
Yeah. So what makes like you're like the guitar man on campus, honestly. That's what like you someone wants to play guitar, you're here. Yeah.
Yes.
Like what makes like guitar like your thing?
Um, that's a good question. I don't know. I like chords, so that helps. I just like interesting chord progressions and stuff like that. And yeah, I guess just since like I've been playing it for so long and I'm so comfortable or I guess it's the instrument that I'm most comfortable on. Like I don't think anyone would come to ask me to play piano because there's like a handful of people here, playing that know piano way more than I do. But like yeah, I guess I don't know if that makes sense, but
I mean you're good at piano too. I mean, like yeah. I don't know. Like but guitar is like definitely your probably your primary instrument that you
mhm.
play all the time, that you're most comfortable with, that
Yep. Hmm.
everyone's asking to play guitar.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it's fun. I like it.
it's
Hmm.
cool. So to kick it back to some music for now, and also a song by Presley himself here, released not too long ago, called Part One.
Yep.
Would you like to say anything about that before we play that?
I would love to. Um, so that has a little story behind it actually. So um I have a couple friends, Evan and Holden. Shout out Evan and Holden, and Aiden. But we thought of this idea to make a song that was like a 3 beat switches, like in rap, like Sicko Mode or whatever. It's like has crazy beat switches or whatever. So we're like, okay, let's make a song like that. So this was like must have been like last year already. So we're like, okay, let's do that. So me and Holden started working on our beats, and we're like, oh, this is really cool. And we started like making like how ours would transition to the other. And then Evan just like never had the time or like inspired to like do his, which is like fine or whatever. But so then we're like, okay, well, we never did it. So then I had this beat, and Holden had his beat, and it was just like they're really cool. We just didn't know what to do with them. So I think my friend Holden, he put it out somewhere either on the SoundCloud or his Spotify. But then I was like, okay, well, I have this beat now that is just like sitting unreleased. I think is really cool. So I was like, well, I should figure out like what to do with it. And so I finished it up, mixed it, and now it is out. And yeah, I mean, I can talk about the collab with A Train when we get back, or
Yeah, I mean, I'll
you
play
want.
the just the instrumental version you have first that you made, and then we
Mhm.
can play also the one with A Train, and we can talk about how that came to be too, how
Yeah,
that happened.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Joe Show. I'm here with Presley and New Air with us today. How you feeling, Presley?
I'm feeling good.
The last song you heard was just a tool by just the hubcap on Radio GBX.
Love
So,
those guys.
oh yeah, they're great. I've actually we had them on the show before, and they've played in the Phoenix Club, a couple times, music festival.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we could talk about that too.
That is, yeah.
Yeah. But also we want to talk about. So you did the collab with A Train. How did that come to be? How did that happen?
Oh yeah, so I had finished the beat and whatever. It was just like sitting around, and I was like, okay, well, I want to put this out either way, but I was like, what if I also just shoot it by Aiden or A Train? Because why not? See what he thinks. If he wants to get on it, he can rap, and yeah. So then I sent it his way, and he was down to do it, but there's like a period of time where just like I didn't hear anything. We were both busy with like school. It was like I think it was like the end of the first or fall semester, and then over winter he had started, I think, working on his mixtape. So then when we got back, we kind of like brought it up again, and he was like locked in, ready to go with his mixtape, getting going on that. So it was just like uh that was like the perfect time. Then we like sorted it out and figured it out, and yeah, he wrote to it. It was pretty quick. We recorded it and then mixed it up, and that was pretty much it. We had it. It was all good, and that's the first song on his mixtape. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, to be part of that, and that's something that just was released pretty recently.
yeah, a
Yeah,
couple weeks ago, I think it was. What was it? April. Yeah,
13th, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So and then he performed at a couple of them too, a couple of
Mhm.
songs off the mixtape.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at the
music
music
festival,
festival.
Thought
Yeah,
Beauty, celebration of Thought Beauty.
that's right. Yep.
Yeah,
I think he did that at the music festival too.
yeah, he did both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So like the other thing too is we could talk about the music festival if you want. That was
Yeah.
something pretty big to be involved in.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. I hope they do it again next year. It was really fun. There's a lot of bands here, all the music people, all the bands, local bands, the student bands performing is pretty cool. We got to mix all of them, and I ended up playing with Sawyer, which was fun. Um Yeah, he was planning to perform, and I was gonna watch it and hopefully mix it either way, but then unfortunately he broke his wrist like 2 days before, which is crazy. Not no bueno. So then he asked me if I could play, and I was like, yeah, sure. And I learned his set, and yeah,
What'd you play for him?
guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought I should mention that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, you still got to perform, even
Mhm.
though you weren't scheduled to, because you're also in a band, by the
Yeah.
way, too.
Yeah, we were gonna play, but unfortunately our singer was busy that day. But yeah, we perform. I'm in a band. We're called Third Degree. We play around town. Uh, Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff from like funk to pop, classic rock, a little country, whatnot. Yeah, it's pretty fun. We performed here at one of the GB nights last year.
Yeah.
And hopefully we at
That
some
was in the
point.
Union, yeah.
Yeah, and Crash to Crest we did in fall.
Yeah.
Hopefully we perform here again at some point. It was a fun time.
Yeah. That's cool. So you guys, I mean, yeah, you kind of covered some questions I was gonna ask about your band too. Do you guys have any, well, we could all cover that too later, but if any upcoming things happening with your band?
Um, yeah. Hopefully we have should be getting some stuff going this summer. Yeah, I think we have a gig next week.
Oh, really?
So yeah, that should be fun. A bar downtown, Rum Runners.
Nice.
Excited for that. We love playing there. We play there a decent amount. But yeah.
Okay. So we can kind of get into some other, let's say, fun questions.
Okay.
My co-host Grace isn't here to say the questions, so I'm also gonna say them.
Sounds good.
So kind of getting into like some fun or like not only like just more interesting questions.
Mhm.
So what is like your favorite movie soundtrack?
That is a loaded question.
Yeah.
Let me think if for a sec. Okay. I'll give you like maybe our like score or like
Yeah, I mean, it could be a score. It could be specific like song from a movie.
okay. Okay, here. Well, in terms of like movie score, I think a lot of the Batman. That one's a modern one. I love this music from that.
You know that in the piano.
Yes, I do.
You play that.
Yeah. That's right. Batman, that's a modern one. I love the original Batman 1989. Inception has great music. Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Blade Runner, the original and the new one, 2049. Vangelis, beautiful. And Moonlight is so good. The movie Moonlight, I love that. And then if we were talking like soundtrack, like songs played in a movie, Baby Driver is loaded with those. It's basically like build the movie around all the music, which is really cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, Star Wars too is iconic.
Yeah. John Williams.
Yeah. Love a lot of Star Wars.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. I was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah.
Harry Potter, yeah. And the original, like the first couple are like the most iconic, but honestly the sixth movie, Half-Blood Prince, has grown on me a lot. There's some really good songs on there too. Like
Maybe they'll perform that in the live.
yeah.
Yeah, the live
It'll take a
performance of the
while.
first movie.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna go in order. There's a lot of movies. It's gonna take a while. 8
Yeah,
years.
gotta build up momentum.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Mhm.
So kind of shooting off, similar question but kind of different, but like just about music and artists. Like, what if you were to collaborate with any artist? Who'd you want to collaborate with?
Oh, well, let me think. Luckily, I got to collaborate with A Train already.
Yeah.
Sawyer Radzowski. I love to collab with him. Bon Iver would be cool. Frank Ocean I'm a
Wow.
big fan of Frank Ocean. Let me think. Other modern artists. Yeah. I mean, any of those guys would be pretty cool. Who else? I love Stevie Wonder, but I mean he does do music, but not so much anymore. I think. Yeah. Those are some people to name a few.
Okay.
Yes.
What are some, like, I mean, I kind of branch off that too. Like, some of your favorite artists that you kind of aspire or like get some inspiration from.
Oh. Well, Frank Ocean, I said already. Bon Iver again. I've been listening to the latest James Blake album. It came out last fall a lot. That one's really cool. Very unique. Let me think here. Kendrick Lamar. Love Kendrick Lamar. He inspires me a lot. I mean, I don't rap or anything, but just like the music and whatnot. I'm tempted to look at my playlist. I'm just gonna look really quickly. Let me see here.
You can read off your top artist.
Yeah, my top artists.
Spotify web.
Tyler the Creator. I like his music. Oh, Sade. That was like one of my biggest artists last year was Sade. I listened to like all of their albums. All of them really good. Highly recommend. Like a Tattoo by Sade is one of my favorite songs. It was my top song last year, and it's like already grown. I found it last year, and it's like probably my top song of all time on Spotify, and I've had Spotify for like a long time, so
Oh wow.
I listened to it a lot last year.
It's on repeat.
Yeah. I would listen to it like before I go to bed a lot because it's like really like chill, but yeah.
Nice. Kind of spinning off that too. What is one piece of advice that a musician or an artist has given you?
It's a good question. I guess I would say I saw this interview one time with producer Rick Rubin. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's produced a bunch of crazy albums. But he was talking about his time working with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And he said that if anybody had an idea that they would like try it before like disputing it or saying like it would suck. So I think it's, even if you have an idea and you're like, oh, that might not be good, you might like find out that you actually like it more than you thought you would originally, or like you stumble upon something by accident. A lot of times like jokes, like stuff starts out as a joke and then it like becomes seriously like really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Could mention something, but I don't want to spoil anything. That's a joke. But anyway, like, what is like, kind of going back to your band a little bit? What is like one song? Because you said you play a few different songs, different genres. Like, what's one of your favorite songs you like to perform?
Oh yeah. One of my favorites is "Heard It Through the Grapevine."
Oh yeah.
I love Marvin Gaye. And so I was instantly down to do that song. But we also it's more of the Amy Winehouse version. Amy Winehouse, love her too. She does a cover of it in like a different key. Oh, it must have been like BBC live sessions or something like that. It's really cool. But that one's fun, and yeah, that one's a fun one. We play some Stevie Wonder, Superstition. That one's always fun. Yeah, I think those are my top favorite. Oh, Aretha Franklin. What is it? Chain of Fools by Aretha Franklin. We play that one. I love that song too. So.
Okay. So I want to kind of go talk your band too. Like, how did you guys come together? Like, how did that happen? Yeah.
Yeah. So it started in high school. We all went to high school together. It started because okay, so the singer Logan, our band has gone through many changes over the years. It started out with 3 people. Logan, one of his friends, and one of the teachers there was like helping them like get gigs and stuff. So that was like 3 people. That's why it's called Third Degree. Then eventually like 2 more people joined, and then the drummer joined, and then a couple people left, then more people joined, and some people left, and then COVID happened, and then it was mainly just like after all that, now it's just us 4. It's me, I'm on guitar and I sing backup. Our singer Logan, he also plays guitar and sometimes piano, keyboards. Our drummer Nick, he's awesome. I mean, all those guys are awesome. And Miguel on bass. He started on guitar, but he picked up bass really fast for the band. So, yeah, that's where we're at now.
That's awesome. And then you do solo stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have Presley here on air with us today. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Finals are. I just finished my last one earlier today, so.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Summer's just begun?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Have a couple other things I gotta figure out, but. Yep.
Yeah. So get back into your music. So you had this song You made it the A Train.
Yep.
So like, what is like your creative process when you write new music?
That's a good question. I guess it's kind of different. It depends. Sometimes I just sit down and start noodling around and playing something, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That could be something. Or sometimes it's like I start out with an idea of something I want to make. Like, oh, this like it hasn't been done before, or something like a new spin on something. Um, but let me think. That like the last one, um, the part one. I was like, I need something that sounds really cool, so I just started playing stuff on piano, and I kind of or yeah, I just started playing stuff on piano, and then I like chopped that up. I usually try not to. I don't like to sample things that often because then I have to like deal with getting clearance and stuff. So I kind of like to sample myself, or like for instance with that one, I played piano knowing I was going to chop it up. So like I just like played chords extra long and then chopped them later into like a shorter time period, if that makes sense. Because just for like the sound of it being chopped, because like I knew I wanted how I wanted it to sound like. But even on that song later, like I originally had a sample of like the Wii home, like when you click the home button on the Wii, like dun 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 boom, and then it would like go into the Wii home music. Um but I was like, well, I don't know if I would get in trouble for that. So I took it out and kind of replaced it with like some keyboard things that kind of like give a similar feeling, but like it's not. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how that one came about creatively. But other times, it's very different. With each one. Sometimes I go into something thinking like, oh, this could be like a whole album, and sometimes I go into things thinking like, oh, this is just like one song. Um, I work on I've worked on score as well. My friend Sam, shout out Sam. They make short like I've done short films with them where I like do the score for that, and for that one it's like completely like just I'm watching it and like trying to imagine what I would hear for that. So it's kind of more based off what I'm seeing. And I think even like learning from that, when I write my own music, I like to, music is kind of like an escape for people. So I try to like, even if it's not going to have a video or visuals at all, like I try to like imagine where I am when I'm like listening to this and writing this. Um, and like I've had stuff eventually that I will put out, but that is a good example of that. But I even have a new song coming out that will
Wow,
be premiering on the show tonight.
coming up soon. But
Yeah. Um, that one, yeah. I mean, I can talk about it now, or I can talk about it more later if you have other
I mean,
questions.
since you brought it up, why don't you talk about like how kind of song how it started and
Yeah. For sure. So, um, it was kind of a few things that kind of came together for the song. But there's this song called "Watermelon Man" by Herbie Hancock. It's crazy. You guys should listen to that if you haven't. It's like probably like at least 6 minutes long, but it's insane. It's so like quirky. It's like has this really crazy quirky intro with like some like whistles and what like a recorder or like a flute type thing, and then it gets like really funky. It's really cool. But I was like kind of inspired by that song. I also work at a grocery store, so this is one of those things where it started as a joke. I was working at the grocery store, and I was chopping up fruit, and like I was like, I heard a Watermelon Man. When are they dropping Pineapple Man? Like this is like a sequel to Watermelon Man or something. I don't know. So I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. That'd be cool to do. And that was like at the end of this summer, a couple summers ago. And I was like, okay, well, I got wrapped up into other things that I was working on in school and everything. And I was like, I kind of want to write it in summertime because, I don't know. That's what I imagined it to be in. So last summer, I started working on it. And I low key had some writer's block. I'm not going to lie. It was really weird. Like last summer, I had the craziest writer's block. Like, um, I barely made any music that summer. Like, just, I don't know, it was so weird. Um, and so it was kind of tough figuring that out. But then I started listening to Sade definitely influenced it. What else? Oh, this guy Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass Band. My friend Kevin showed me that album and was listening to that a lot, and I think that helped inspire it as much as Watermelon Man. But eventually, I was like, okay, I figured it out, and yeah, the process for that, it was like I would, I mean, sometimes I would write something and be like, oh my god, this sounds awesome, and then like the next day I'd come back and be like, this sounds so bad. Like, this is so bad. That doesn't happen as much anymore, luckily. That I think that kind of happens at first, but I kind of got a lot of that out of the way. But I guess just the writer's block, getting over that was kind of tough. Like I think I was just thinking too much about it. And I was like, I knew I wanted to put this one song out by itself. It would be a single. I just wanted to make it the best that I could. I don't want to have any. I just wanted it to be an instrumental because Watermelon Man was like an instrumental mostly. And I started the beat for it, and I was like, just kind of like I had the beat idea, and I was like, kind of beatboxing it almost into like my voice memos, so I could remember it for later when I would actually like sit down to make the song. And I had like obvious parts that I was like, okay, it's a kick, like, and I was like, okay. Then I was like, interesting, that sounds cool, whatever. And so when I was sitting down later to do it, I was like, okay, obviously, like, that's a kick, that's like a hi hat, and then there's like this part where it's like, I was like, what on earth? Like, what drum part of a drum could that be? And I was like, what if I just sample my voice and put that in the beat? Because I don't think I mean, other than like Timbaland, um, I haven't really heard it that much, and it's kind of unique. So, and Watermelon Man was like very quirky, so I'm like trying to like embrace any quirkiness part of it, and that's kind of like one of the more quirky, I guess, aspects of it, as well as uh, my friend Kevin. He he got a bunch of instruments at this like rummage sale or something, and there's like this crazy recorder. So I put it like tried to figure that how to put that on there. So I have that kind of in the background too. Um, yeah, but I've figured out that I have the bass, love the bass line on there. Every aspect of it, I tried to like make as good as it can be, and I think that's why it took a while. I wrote it a lot last summer, like as much as I could, and was not blocked by the writer's block. And then I spent this year kind of mixing it when I could in between like school and other projects and stuff. And yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So like, um, how long would you say it's taken you so far, like for this whole project to like, because you're finally releasing it tonight?
Oh, the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely, I started it, must have been like last summer.
Okay.
So almost a year. Um,
It's coming out tonight
yep.
on all platforms.
Yep. Very
And we're
excited.
premiering it here on Radio GBX for the first
Premiering
time.
the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really exciting, and I can't wait to hear that soon. I do want to talk more about some music questions, and you brought up too, like how you were in this like writer's block for a little bit, just like not like able to like make music or like just find something like inspiration or something. So like kind of how did you come out of that? Like what inspired you to make
Yeah.
this music now and now start releasing more music?
Well, it's interesting because like, I mean, I write music all the time, and like I have projects that I've started even before this one that like, I mean, I plan on finishing. I mean, we can talk about that later, but I guess it was so weird because I think I just put like pressure on myself that is like, okay, I knew the basically my mindset. I don't know if this is a good or bad mindset, but I had this project that I started working on that I'm like, okay, I know me and I know I'm going to take forever to finish this because I want it to be like perfect, as good as it can be. And that might not be for a while. And I just wanted to get something else out there. So I like paused it and started working on this. So I'm like, okay, instead of a project, now it's all on one song. So I think I was just like putting pressure on myself that way, where it's like, okay, this is going to be like the only song out for a while. I need it to be really good. And I would just sit down to work on it and be like, it wasn't so much like I can make up ideas on guitar or piano or whatever, keyboards, bass. I can sit down and like make that idea, but I wanted it to be good. And like sitting, it just like, I think I was just thinking about it too much. Um, what I find is just like the next, like I would be working on it the next day, like the morning, like I don't know. Usually I'm most creative like in the evening. I'm more of a night person. But what I was finding is like the next day I would just like wake up and just like start playing stuff and I'd be like, oh wow, that's actually really cool. So I think just not thinking about it and like sitting down to like just for the act of sitting down and playing something, and yeah, that was kind of how that pushed through. Um
Is that kind of advice that you would say to someone else in a similar situation?
yeah,
Just to not overthink it?
yeah, don't never overthink ever. Anyone ever do that? No.
You gotta, like, think about it, but yeah. But
Yeah,
don't.
no, it's tough to overthinking is sucks sometimes. But yeah, it's try not to put pressure on yourself, you know. I don't know. It's really tough. Just try not to think about it. If you're it's so easier said than done, but like if you just like sit down, always, that's another piece of advice I guess I've heard. I saw an interview with Pharrell. He was talking about like if you're debating on like making the music or like, oh, maybe I'll skip today. He said always do it, you know, because what you like think of today might not be what you think of tomorrow. And if you skip today, it could be like the next biggest song ever, best song ever. So um yeah, I guess just being consistent and yeah, just like always trying to get new ideas out can help. Like I guess it's like an exercise. Like if you're not, you know, sometimes you can just like sit down and make something, you know. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially being, like, in a learning and growing environment like this, and, like, every class we had in audio production, we're just learning so much. I feel like
Hmm.
you can apply that to something, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
like the new studio is being built, like, there's just so much more new things that are happening.
Hmm.
You can get caught up in all this. It's like, but it's like you gotta just get down to the core of, like, just making music, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, so then I guess one more question too, like, do you have any upcoming? You mentioned stuff with your band, and do you have any upcoming like shows for yourself, performances, any other upcoming things besides before we go into your new song?
Hmm. I think any shows other than my band. I honestly don't do too many like solo things.
Oh, you're
Like
in
in terms
jazz
of
too. I
show.
mean, you just finished
Yeah,
that,
we
but
just finished up. We had some jazz concerts. That was cool. I have some projects I'm working on. Yeah, I started a project like last year. And then like I said, I put it on pause for this one. This Pineapple Man song. So I do plan to get back to that at some point. I'm working on something with my friend Holden. Have no like I don't know when any of those will be out. Just in the near future at some point. But my friend Sam, they are working on. They're almost done with the short film, and I will be doing the score for that. So that should be coming out at the very latest this. I think by the end of this summer, hopefully soon, like sometime at some point this summer, that should be out. So excited for that. Yeah, And then of course we got the song Tonight. And yeah, that's what's coming up for me.
That's awesome. I mean, you're involved in a lot of different things on campus. I
Mhm.
mean, yourself, band, just
Yeah.
involved on campus with music here too. So
Yeah, and who knows? There will probably be other things that come into existence that later,
yeah, we can hint some other things later too that might be coming next year. But going back to like your song too, is there anything you wanna say or talk about it before we play it?
Um, yeah, the cover art that was done by my friend Sam. They are also into photography as well as filming. And yeah, I guess I was trying to just like imagining. I mean, it's not like I don't know. It's just what I imagined it to be. Pineapples remind me of like more of summertime. It's very like, I don't know, vibrant. Um in the ways that like the colors of it in like the cover art. You'll see it'll be on Spotify soon. Tonight at 8 actually. Hopefully if that works out. Yeah, so this is the premiere.
And it's called Pineapple Man,
Pineapple Man. Yep.
and it's about a pineapple.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
It was just inspired by Watermelon Man and many other things as well. If you on my Spotify, I actually put a playlist up of a bunch of songs that was inspired. So if you're interested in that, you can go check it out.
Okay. Well, coming up soon for the first time, premiering on Radio GPX, Pineapple Man.
Pineapple Express, right? We have a bunch of selections they can grab. Like there's pineapples, pineapple under the sea, SpongeBob's house. Oh yeah, and there is also a meeting tomorrow. Don't be late, Evan. I'll see you guys there.
Welcome back to the Joe Show here on Radio GBX. So that song was Pineapple Man by Presley himself.
Yep. Yeah, it's all me on there. I played guitar, I played the keyboards and the bass. And there was the recorder on there too. And I made the beat too. The only other person on there is Nick May. Shout out Nick May. He's our drummer, or the drummer in the band that I'm in. And we kind of just had this on-running joke because he also works at the grocery store of like this place, Pineapple Express, which kind of, I guess, inspired the song too as well, where it's, I don't know, just like this joke that we had this other like pineapple stand that sold everything related to pineapples, pineapple t-shirts, pineapple cups, pineapple hats, everything. And so I was
Pineapple
like,
merch coming up soon.
yeah, pineapple merch. So then it was kind of like an on-running joke. And yeah, so I was like, oh, I think I should get him on here just like as a funny little voice message. And yeah, it was like me, Nick, and our friend Evan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, you heard it for the first time, and it's streaming tonight
It
on all
should
platforms.
be on there at 8 o'clock on Spotify, hopefully, if everything works out.
Yeah. So speaking of like Spotify, and where can we find some of your music?
Oh yeah, I'm on Spotify. If you just look up Presley Christman, I got a couple songs out there. You know, the one with A Train. I have one from a while ago, and I'll be putting Pineapple Man. That'll be up there. Any other music things will be on there for now. Whatever I do in the future will be on Spotify. I also have a SoundCloud for anything that's just like kind of like demos or like some silly things or goofy things around there, or like B-sides or whatnot, just for fun type thing. My SoundCloud. It should just be my name as well. So yeah.
Do you have any other like with your band? Do you have any social media?
Oh yeah, Third Degree, the band, Third Degree Band. We're on Facebook. Myself, I'm also on Instagram. You can just look me up, Presley Christman, on Instagram. I don't know if we have. Well, Third Degree might have an Instagram. I think we do. But yeah, mainly we post stuff on Facebook. Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything else that you have coming up that you want to promote?
I think that was that's pretty much it. You know, Pineapple Man streaming tonight.
We'll put links in the description if you check this out later.
Cool, yeah.
Unless you know the link right now, you can name it off.
Yeah. www. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. If any other future updates will be on my Instagram and Spotify. So yeah, feel free to follow me there.
That's awesome. Well, you heard it here. Do you have any final thoughts before we go to some music and then do a closing?
Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate having me here and getting my music on the radio. That's awesome. And all the other local artists too. That's really cool that we have that here. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So I just want to say thank you for joining us tonight, Presley.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and it's been really fun. Thank you everyone for listening and tuning on to the Joe Show. First Wednesday of every month, we'll be back next semester. We interview local artists here on the Joe Show, and also there's potentially something else next semester too on the radio. If you want to mention anything of that at all.
Yeah, we'll be taking a radio class, so we may have our own show. Me and Joe.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see how. But yeah, you'll hear more of me and Presley on the radio for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, my own show, but also Presley might have his show too.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that if you want to go deeper into what more stuff that Presley has on his mind, I guess.
Yeah. And have a great summer, everyone. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. And if you missed this episode, it'll be posted on YouTube. So like, subscribe there. I'll have links for all of Presley's stuff and the new song. Don't forget to smash the like button. And now the show is over.